I've recently begun watching the show Girls, mainly because after watching The Last Jedi, I realized I need more Adam Driver in my life. And also, I've always wanted to watch it, but another dramedy about people failing in their 20s was never really appealing to me until now. Upon watching the first episode, I was sold, not just by Adam's ridiculously compelling character, but by the dialogue. I found it totally sincere and, well, different.
I have work, and then I have a dinner thing, and then I am busy trying to become who I am.
Sort of like when you watch Gilmore Girls for the first time. If you like it, you're pulled in by the dialogue. You stay, however, for the characters. Now, there are plenty of things I don't like about Girls. They treat each other like crap, the guys are sometimes just used as plot points, they use misogynistic language in a kind of unrealistic way. Some of the episodes are made for the entire point of being cringy and serve no other purpose. But all of this is kind of the point, and I'll get there eventually, but let me just start with some of the criticisms that people usually have with Girls. Number 1, Lena Dunham. Let's begin with the most controversial point, shall we?
Season, it looks terrific.
You saw a penis, right?
Yeah, I saw more than that. Okay, well, we're just going out. What?
Lena Dunham gets a lot of criticism for, well, being Lena Dunham.
See, that's the difference between generations. I wasn't brought up talking like that.
I'm so sorry. You said penis. Thank you so much.
Wait a minute, you're still on the air.
A lot of people love to hate her for reasons I don't want to get into. The girl's got a lot of dirty laundry and she loves to let it all hang out to dry. But if we judged every piece of media or art based on our opinion of the person who made it, we would have very little to enjoy. So if you hate Girls because you hate Lena Dunham, you might want to reevaluate all the media you consume based on your opinions of the creator. It's a nearly impossible task. Now, I understand that there are some places where people have to draw the line, and that's okay. This video is not attempting to defend Miss Dunham, it's only attempting to show how and why her show can teach us valuable lessons, similar to how The Cosby Show can teach us valuable lessons, even though Bill Cosby... yeah. This criticism also feeds into the idea that Hannah, the main character on Girls, is Lena. Dunham has said in multiple interviews that this is not the case.
There's a presumption that the character at the center of it that you play is really you.
It's true.
Is it true?
No, I mean, it's true that people assume it.
Number 2. These girls are all vapid and annoying. Fair enough. They're all incredibly self-centered, blame each other for their own issues, and don't respect their romantic partners. Oh wait, doesn't that describe most characters in comedy? Dramatic or comedic plot is often expressed in ridiculous scenarios, which are usually caused by the character's flaws. If you honestly cannot find any trait in any one of these characters you relate to, that's fine, the show is not for you. But you also probably see yourself as a Ted Mosby, a Monica, or a Chandler, or a Jessica Day, or even a George Costanza, all characters that are truly selfish. And that's what makes it funny. They themselves are the butt of the joke because they're so self-centered and just don't see it. As someone in her 20s, I can relate to these tropes repeated in Girls, but only to an extent. I don't necessarily relate to any of the girls on Girls, and I don't think it's required to enjoy the show. As weird as Adam is, I perhaps relate to him the most. He's intense and emotive, he's content with who he is, but hard on himself. I could watch him curse and throw things for hours. Number 3. The show isn't about anything. Yep, that's right. And neither is Seinfeld, Gilmore Girls, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, New Girl, Dead Like Me, The Office, and plenty of others that are simply about nothing. They're about the characters and their lives, or lack thereof, and they don't nearly receive the sort of vitriolic hate that Girls receives.
It's just so over the top unnecessary.
Shows that are about nothing are a weird case on their own. Seinfeld was practically praised for having this label. It's modern nihilistic expression, in a sense. And honestly, what it really comes down to is that nothing is nothing. In art and media, nothing can still be something, as silly and simplistic as that sounds. Number 4, no people of color. Now, I won't go into this one much because, well, my other examples probably illustrate my feelings about this criticism too. Lena Dunham has since said multiple times that it was an oversight on her part. But the show is honestly about 4 white, privileged girls living in New York, so yeah. Number 5, not enough Adam. Just kidding, that's not a legit criticism. Number 6, too grungy, crude, nasty. Lena Dunham made it a point to get naked as much as is natural on her show. I actually don't mind this so much, mainly because, in context, it's actually quite easy to digest. As a woman myself, I like seeing women being regular people. This goes into the whole male gaze versus female gaze thing, but I don't really think it's portraying that either. The sex in Girls is normal. It's sometimes awkward, sometimes kinky, sometimes creepy, and sometimes really hot. And it's all very purposeful and contributes to either plot or character or both. All in all, it's honest. The moment I realized why I liked the show in general, and not just because of Adam Driver, was when Hannah is in a meeting at her new writing gig, and she's pitching ideas for an article about the modern man, in which she has to come up with guys everyone knows.
Hannah. Okay, I haven't come up with a name for this yet, but it's like, he's a dad, but he's not trying to be like the coolest dad, but he's also like embracing vintage Bill Cosby-ish dadness, so that actually inherently makes him cool.
It's hysterical, it's poignant, it's simply put. And that's what's great about the writing. Lena Dunham, lover or hater, is observant and sincere. She's incredibly self-aware, and that can be both an advantage and a hindrance to her creations.
I think it's only bad when the weird sub molests you.
You were molested by a weird sub?
Yeah. No, I don't know. Maybe. Probably.
Take, for instance, her way of forcing diversity into her show after she was called out for the lack thereof.
I didn't know that. Thank you for enlightening me about how things are tougher for minorities. Thank you.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
I am.
Or the time Dunham wrote in a plot that specifically addressed whether or not she was her character Hannah.
How are we supposed to critique a work which is very clearly based directly from the author's personal experience?
At the same time, providing commentary on the types of criticisms that she receives.
But I have the same problem, and I've never even met her. It's just, look at her. She's obviously her.
Or the time Dunham addressed problems with accusing powerful men of sexual assault and how those men can explain the situation as if they are the victim. The show consistently hits tones that are outrageously self-aware. One of the most obvious things to me is that it calls out stereotypes by having the main characters throw stereotypical insults at one another.
I wanted to fall asleep in my own vomit all day, listening to you talk about how you bruise more easily than other people.
It is being self-aware, not by allowing its main characters to learn from their mistakes, because that's not nearly as funny, but by illustrating to the audience in a realistic setting the wrong way to combat racism, misogyny, addiction, and abusive relationships. And unless you're not paying attention, you won't see the message. That's not to say that the characters don't ever evolve or learn anything. They do, but it's realistically slow getting there, and it's mostly self-serving in the way that it's played out. For example, I don't want to repeat that mistake for the upteenth time because I, emphasis on I, am actually incredibly lonely.
Adam, I do. Please. Adam, I really need you to be my friend.
I don't want to get all gushy and cheesy, but the whole point of fictional storytelling is to connect with people, to inspire compassion for characters. It's what makes us human. Even if you hate a decision a character makes, you can still learn from how they and other characters handle that. I believe Girls does this very, very well. It inspires controversial discussion, especially amongst millennials. And that's the point. Even at their worst, I could not hate any of these characters, because I'm actually learning from them. Especially this guy.
I know, I'm sorry I found it.